In 1274, Tsushima Island became the stage for a monumental confrontation that would define Japan's future. As the sun rose over the island, samurai warriors, bound by the code of Bushido, prepared to defend their homeland against an unstoppable force, the Mongol Empire. Led by Kublai Khan, the Mongols were determined to expand their empire, bringing with them a formidable army skilled in tactics that had never been seen in Japan before. But the samurai, with their unmatched discipline and unwavering resolve, were ready to face this unprecedented threat. As the Mongol forces landed on Tsushima's shores, the stage was set for an epic showdown, a battle that would test the courage, strategy, and spirit of both sides. History of the Mongols. Imagine vast, endless plains where the wind blows freely and the horizon seems infinite. This is the homeland of the Mongols, a formidable tribe of warriors led by one of history's greatest conquerors, Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, born as Temujin, transformed a group of scattered and often warring tribes into one of the most powerful military forces the world has ever seen. He began by uniting the Mongol tribes under his command through a combination of astute diplomacy and relentless force. His leadership ability and strategic vision were fundamental to his success. Genghis Khan introduced several military innovations that gave the Mongols a decisive advantage. They were masters of cavalry warfare, capable of moving swiftly and striking with deadly precision. In addition, he implemented a rigorous system of discipline and merit, where loyalty and skill were rewarded regardless of social origin. The Mongols were known for their innovative military tactics, which included the use of powerful composite bows that could shoot accurately even at long distances. They also employed psychological strategies, such as feigned retreats to lure enemies into ambushes. This combination of speed, surprise, and close combat skills made the Mongol armies virtually unbeatable on the battlefield. Under Genghis Khan's leadership, the Mongol Empire expanded rapidly, covering vast areas of Asia and Europe. His campaign of conquests began in China and extended to Eastern Europe, creating an empire that would become the largest contiguous empire in history. Each conquered territory was efficiently administered, utilizing existing infrastructure and integrating diverse cultures under the Mongol banner. The empire's expansion was marked by swift and brutal campaigns that left a trail of destroyed cities and subjugated populations. However, Genghis Khan was also known for his religious tolerance and for promoting trade and communication among the different parts of his empire, which helped the Silk Road flourish. The history of the Mongols is not just a lesson in military strategy but also in leadership, innovation, and cultural integration that still resonate today. Samurai's history. In stark contrast to the vast, open plains of the Mongol Empire, imagine the serene yet disciplined world of feudal Japan, where honor and loyalty were the pillars of society. Here, the samurai stood as the epitome of Japanese culture and martial prowess. The samurai were more than just warriors, they were the noble defenders of the Japanese way of life, bound by the stringent code of Bushido, which emphasized virtues such as honor, courage, and loyalty. Their lives were dedicated to the service of their lords, and their loyalty was unshakable, often to the point of sacrificing their own lives. The samurai's skill in battle was unmatched. They were trained from a young age in various forms of combat, with a particular emphasis on the art of the sword. The katana, their weapon of choice, was not just a tool of war but a symbol of their identity and status. Each katana was meticulously crafted, representing the soul of the samurai and their unwavering commitment to their code. These warriors practiced tirelessly to perfect their techniques, turning combat into an art form. However, the prowess of the samurai extended beyond the battlefield. They were also scholars, poets, and philosophers, embodying a unique blend of martial and intellectual excellence. This duality was a hallmark of the samurai ethos, where the mind and body were honed in harmony. Their education included calligraphy, literature, and the study of Zen Buddhism, which taught them discipline, focus, and the acceptance of death as a natural part of life. This philosophical underpinning allowed the samurai to face the most daunting challenges with calmness and resolve. The role of the samurai in Japanese society was both revered and feared. They served as the enforcers of law and order, ensuring the stability of the feudal system. Their presence was a constant reminder of the power and authority of their lords. The samurai were also the custodians of Japanese culture and tradition, preserving the customs and practices that defined their civilization. Their influence permeated all aspects of society, from the courts of the nobility to the common folk, who admired their discipline and dedication. The samurai's unwavering loyalty and readiness to lay down their lives for their lords were put to the ultimate test during the Mongol invasions of Japan. These invasions highlighted the samurai's tactical brilliance and indomitable spirit. Despite facing a formidable enemy with superior numbers and advanced weaponry, the samurai's intimate knowledge of their terrain and their innovative guerrilla tactics enabled them to mount a fierce resistance. The battles were brutal and bloody, but the samurai's resolve never wavered. Their ability to adapt and their strategic ingenuity were crucial in repelling the invaders and preserving Japan's sovereignty. In the aftermath of these invasions, the samurai's status as legendary warriors was solidified. Their valor and determination became the stuff of legend, inspiring countless stories, plays, and artworks. The term samurai itself became synonymous with the ideals of honor, bravery, and loyalty. This legacy continued to shape Japanese culture and identity long after the feudal era had ended. The story of the samurai is not just a tale of war and conquest, it is a profound narrative about the human spirit, the pursuit of perfection, and the unwavering commitment to a code of honor. Their legacy continues to resonate today, reminding us of the power of discipline, the importance of cultural preservation, and the timeless virtues that the samurai lived by. As we delve deeper into their history, we uncover lessons that remain relevant in our modern lives, inspiring us to face our own challenges with the same courage and resolve that defined the samurai. Historical context of the battle. The stage for the epic confrontation between the Mongols and the samurai was set against a backdrop of ambition and resilience. In the late 13th century, the Mongol Empire, under the rule of Kublai Khan, had grown to encompass vast swathes of territory from Asia to Europe. Kublai Khan, the grandson of the legendary Genghis Khan, had already achieved significant conquests, but his eyes were set on further expansion. Driven by the desire to extend his influence and consolidate power, Kublai Khan turned his attention to Japan, a relatively small but strategically significant island nation. Japan, at this time, was a land of intricate feudal structures and deeply rooted traditions. The country was ruled by the shogunate, a military government led by the shogun, who held the real power, while the emperor was more of a ceremonial figure. The samurai, as the warrior class, were the enforcers of the shogunate's will and the protectors of the Japanese way of life. They were deeply ingrained in the fabric of society, embodying the values of loyalty, honor, and martial prowess. The prospect of an invasion by the formidable Mongol Empire was a daunting one for Japan. The Mongols had already demonstrated their military might in their previous conquests, employing innovative tactics and instilling fear through their ruthless campaigns. Kublai Khan's ambition to conquer Japan was not just about territorial expansion, it was also a test of the Mongol Empire's dominance and a demonstration of their ability to subjugate even the most distant lands. In 1274, Kublai Khan launched his first invasion attempt. He sent a fleet across the sea carrying thousands of soldiers equipped with advanced weaponry, including gunpowder bombs, a technology that was relatively new to warfare at the time. The Mongols landed on the Japanese islands of Tsushima and Iki, initiating a brutal campaign against the local defenders. The samurai, although outnumbered and initially taken by surprise, mounted a fierce resistance. Utilizing their intimate knowledge of the terrain and their superior close combat skills, they managed to repel the invaders. However, the victory came at a high cost, and the samurai knew that this was only the beginning. The Japanese anticipated that the Mongols would return with greater force, and they began preparing for the inevitable second invasion. The shogunate ordered the construction of extensive defensive structures along the coastlines, including walls and fortifications designed to impede the Mongol advance. The samurai trained rigorously, honing their skills and strategies to counter the Mongol threat. This period of preparation was marked by a sense of unity and determination, as the Japanese people rallied together to defend their homeland. In 1281, Kublai Khan launched his second and more formidable invasion. This time, he assembled a massive fleet, reportedly consisting of over 4,000 ships and 140,000 soldiers from across his vast empire. The Mongol forces were a diverse assembly of warriors from different cultures, united under the banner of the Mongol Empire. They set sail towards Japan with the intention of delivering a decisive blow and establishing Mongol dominance over the islands. The stage was now set for a confrontation that would determine the fate of Japan. The samurai, aware of the stakes, prepared to defend their homeland with everything they had. The impending clash on the island of Tsushima was not just a battle for territory, it was a battle for the preservation of Japanese culture, identity, and independence. The resilience and strategic brilliance of the samurai, combined with their unwavering loyalty to their country, would be put to the ultimate test in the face of the Mongol onslaught. The context of this confrontation highlights the contrasting motivations and strengths of the two forces. On one side, the Mongols, driven by ambition and armed with advanced technologies and tactics, sought to expand their already vast empire. On the other, the samurai, driven by honor and a deep sense of duty, prepared to defend their homeland against overwhelming odds. This epic clash was more than a mere historical event. It was a defining moment that showcased the resilience of a nation and the indomitable spirit of its warriors. First Mongol invasion, 1274. In 1274, the tranquil shores of Japan were shattered by the looming threat of the Mongol Empire. This marked the beginning of the First Mongol invasion, an event that would test the resilience and valor of the Japanese samurai like never before. Kublai Khan, the ambitious ruler of the Mongol Empire and grandson of Genghis Khan, sought to extend his dominion across the East China Sea to Japan, viewing the islands as a critical addition to his expansive empire. The Mongols assembled a formidable fleet of ships, each brimming with experienced warriors and equipped with advanced weaponry, including the fearsome gunpowder bombs, a novel and devastating technology at the time. The fleet, carrying an estimated 15,000 Mongol and Korean soldiers, set sail from the Korean peninsula, their sights set on the Japanese islands of Tsushima and Iki as the first points of attack. As the Mongol fleet approached Tsushima, the samurai, led by the local governor, So Sukekuni, prepared to defend their homeland. Despite being heavily outnumbered, the samurai embodied the spirit of Bushido, the code of honor and bravery that defined their way of life. The Mongols, known for their swift and ruthless tactics, launched a relentless assault on Tsushima. Their initial attacks were met with fierce resistance, but the samurai struggled against the overwhelming Mongol numbers and superior weaponry. The Mongol strategy was both brutal and effective. They used their gunpowder bombs to create chaos and fear among the Japanese defenders, and their disciplined formations and mounted archers proved deadly in the close-quarters combat that ensued. Despite the valiant efforts of the samurai, Tsushima fell to the Mongol invaders, and the island was subjected to widespread devastation. The Mongols moved swiftly to Iki, employing similar tactics and once again overpowering the local defenders. However, the samurai's resistance was far from over. On the main island of Kyushu, the shogunate had been forewarned of the Mongol threat and had mobilized a larger force to repel the invaders. The Mongol fleet advanced towards Hakata Bay, where the Japanese defenders had erected makeshift defenses along the coastline. The ensuing battle was intense and brutal, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The samurai, leveraging their intimate knowledge of the terrain and their mastery of swordsmanship, managed to hold the Mongols at bay. In the midst of this fierce confrontation, nature intervened. A sudden and violent storm, which the Japanese later called the kamikaze, or divine wind, swept through Hakata Bay. The storm wreaked havoc on the Mongol fleet, sinking many ships and scattering the invaders. The surviving Mongol forces, demoralized and disorganized, were forced to retreat. The Japanese defenders, invigorated by this unexpected turn of events, launched counterattacks that further decimated the remaining Mongol troops. The first Mongol invasion had been repelled, but the victory came at a significant cost. The samurai had demonstrated remarkable courage and resilience, but they were acutely aware that the Mongols would likely return, and in greater numbers. The shogunate immediately began fortifying coastal defenses and preparing for the next inevitable confrontation. The victory at Hakata Bay was a testament to the samurai's unwavering dedication to their homeland, but it also served as a stark reminder of the looming threat posed by the Mongol Empire. This initial invasion had profound implications for Japan. It underscored the importance of unity and preparedness in the face of external threats and solidified the samurai's reputation as formidable warriors. The legacy of the first Mongol invasion continued to shape Japanese military strategies and cultural identity, reinforcing the values of honor, bravery, and sacrifice that defined the samurai spirit. The stage was set for a larger and more decisive conflict, as both sides prepared for the eventual Second Mongol invasion that would come just a few years later. Second Mongol invasion, 1281. In 1281, the Mongol Empire, under the ambitious rule of Kublai Khan, launched its second and far more formidable invasion of Japan. This invasion was not just a repeat of the previous attempt but a massive military endeavor, designed to crush the Japanese resistance once and for all. Kublai Khan, undeterred by the failure of the 1274 invasion, assembled an enormous fleet, reportedly consisting of over 4,000 ships and 140,000 soldiers. This time, the Mongol forces were a diverse assembly of warriors from across the empire, including Chinese, Korean, and even some Southeast Asian soldiers, united under the Mongol banner. The Japanese, forewarned by their previous experience, had spent the intervening years preparing for the inevitable return of the Mongols. The shogunate had fortified the coastal defenses of Kyushu, particularly around Hakata Bay, where they anticipated the Mongols would land. Stone walls were erected, and the samurai were better equipped and strategically prepared to face the invasion. As the Mongol fleet approached, the tension in Japan was palpable. The samurai, embodying the spirit of Bushido, stood ready to defend their homeland with unmatched courage and determination. The Mongol forces, confident in their overwhelming numbers and superior technology, believed they would swiftly subdue the Japanese resistance. The stage was set for one of the most dramatic and decisive battles in Japanese history. The Mongol invasion force was divided into two main fleets. The Eastern Route Army set sail from Korea, while the Southern Route Army departed from southern China. Their plan was to converge on Kyushu and launch a coordinated assault. However, coordination between the two fleets proved difficult, and they arrived at different times, disrupting their strategy from the outset. The Eastern Route Army was the first to reach the Japanese coast, and they were met with fierce resistance from the samurai defenders. The Mongols attempted to land at Hakata Bay but were met by a well-prepared and determined Japanese force. The samurai utilized their knowledge of the terrain and guerrilla tactics to disrupt the Mongol landings, launching night raids and employing fire ships to create chaos among the invaders. Despite their numerical superiority, the Mongols struggled to gain a foothold against the resolute Japanese defense. While the battle raged on land, the Mongol fleet faced another formidable adversary at sea. As they had in 1274, nature once again intervened. A powerful typhoon, later referred to as the kamikaze, or divine wind, struck the Mongol fleet with devastating force. The storm wrought havoc on the Mongol ships, sinking many and scattering the rest. The Southern Route Army, which had arrived later, also suffered significant losses due to the typhoon. The combination of the samurai's tenacious defense and the destructive power of the typhoon decimated the Mongol invasion force. Those Mongol soldiers who managed to reach the shore were met with relentless attacks by the samurai, who took advantage of the disarray caused by the storm. The Japanese defenders were relentless, cutting down the invaders and driving the remnants back into the sea. The failure of the Second Mongol invasion was a monumental victory for Japan. It not only preserved the nation's independence but also solidified the samurai's status as legendary defenders of their homeland. The term kamikaze became enshrined in Japanese culture, symbolizing divine protection and the indomitable spirit of the Japanese people. The aftermath of the second invasion had lasting implications for both Japan and the Mongol Empire. For Japan, the victory reinforced the importance of preparedness, unity, and the warrior spirit embodied by the samurai. The coastal defenses were maintained and improved, ensuring that Japan remained vigilant against future threats. The samurai's valor and dedication became central to the national identity, inspiring generations to come. For the Mongol Empire, the defeat marked the end of their ambitions to conquer Japan. The enormous resources expended on the invasions, coupled with the significant losses suffered, made further attempts impractical. Kublai Khan's dream of extending his empire across the East China Sea was left unfulfilled. The Second Mongol invasion of 1281 stands as a testament to the resilience and strategic brilliance of the samurai, as well as the unpredictable power of nature. It is a story of how a determined and well-prepared nation, despite facing seemingly insurmountable odds, can prevail through unity, courage, and the will to defend its way of life. Battle on Tsushima Island. The Battle of Tsushima in 1281 stands as a pivotal moment in Japanese history, a clash that would define the resilience and tactical brilliance of the samurai. Tsushima, a small island situated between Korea and Japan, became the initial battleground for the Mongol Empire's ambitious second invasion of Japan. The island's strategic location made it the first line of defense against the approaching Mongol fleet, and the samurai stationed there were well aware of the monumental task ahead of them. As the Mongol fleet approached Tsushima, the island's defenders, led by the local governor So Sukekuni, braced themselves for the onslaught. The Mongols, under Kublai Khan's command, were a formidable force, renowned for their sheer numbers, advanced weaponry, and ruthless tactics. Their fleet comprised thousands of ships and tens of thousands of soldiers, creating an imposing sight as they neared the Japanese coast. The samurai, though significantly outnumbered, were undeterred. They were bound by the code of Bushido, which emphasized honor, bravery, and unwavering loyalty to their lord and homeland. This code would guide their actions in the fierce battle that was about to unfold. The samurai knew that they were not merely defending an island, but the very heart and soul of Japan. The Mongols landed on Tsushima with overwhelming force. Their initial assault was swift and brutal, leveraging their numerical superiority in the shock factor of their advanced weaponry, including gunpowder bombs. The samurai, however, utilized their intimate knowledge of the terrain to their advantage. They executed guerrilla tactics, launching surprise attacks and ambushes that disrupted the Mongol formations and inflicted significant casualties. Despite their valor and tactical ingenuity, the samurai defenders of Tsushima faced an uphill battle. The Mongols' relentless assault began to take its toll. Villages were razed, and the local population suffered greatly under the invasion. The samurai, with their backs against the wall, fought with unmatched ferocity, knowing that their resistance was critical to delaying the Mongol advance and buying time for reinforcements from the mainland. The turning point came as the samurai regrouped and launched a counteroffensive. Employing a combination of hit-and-run tactics and strategic fortifications, they managed to inflict heavy losses on the Mongol invaders. The dense forests and rugged terrain of Tsushima provided natural defensive advantages, allowing the samurai to strike from hidden positions and then disappear into the landscape. However, the true devastation for the Mongol invaders came not just from the samurai's fierce defense but also from nature itself. A powerful typhoon, known as the kamikaze, or divine wind, struck the Mongol fleet as it lay anchored off the coast of Tsushima. The storm ravaged the Mongol ships, sinking many and severely damaging others. The invaders, already weakened by the samurai's relentless attacks, found themselves in disarray. The typhoon's fury compounded their losses, and the remnants of the Mongol fleet were forced to retreat. The combination of the samurai's tactical brilliance and the timely intervention of the kamikaze resulted in a decisive victory for Japan. The Battle of Tsushima was not just a military triumph but a profound moment of national unity and resilience. The samurai's ability to hold their ground against overwhelming odds and the natural forces that came to their aid were seen as a sign of divine favor, reinforcing the belief in the righteousness of their cause. The victory at Tsushima had far-reaching implications. It bolstered the morale of the Japanese people and reinforced the samurai's legendary status as defenders of the nation. The battle became a symbol of Japan's ability to resist foreign domination and protect its cultural identity. The term kamikaze would forever be etched into the national consciousness, symbolizing divine protection and the indomitable spirit of the Japanese people. For the Mongol Empire, the defeat at Tsushima marked a significant setback. It was a stark reminder that even their vast resources and military prowess had limits. The failure to conquer Japan not only dented their reputation but also strained the empire's resources and morale. The Battle of Tsushima is a testament to the power of determination, strategic brilliance, and the will to defend one's homeland. It highlights the courage and resilience of the samurai, who, despite facing seemingly insurmountable odds, stood firm and emerged victorious. This historic clash continues to inspire and teach valuable lessons about unity, preparedness, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Result and consequences. The outcome of the Mongol invasions of Japan, particularly the battles on Tsushima and Hakata Bay, had profound and lasting consequences for both Japan and the Mongol Empire. The samurai's successful defense against the vastly superior Mongol forces not only preserved Japan's sovereignty but also reshaped the country's military and cultural landscape for centuries to come. In Japan, the victory against the Mongols was seen as a divine sign. The kamikaze, or divine wind, that had decimated the Mongol fleets during both invasions was perceived as a manifestation of the gods' favor and protection over Japan. This belief in divine protection reinforced the samurai's resolve and their sense of duty to their country. The concept of kamikaze would later resurface in Japanese history, symbolizing the nation's resilience and willingness to sacrifice everything to protect its sovereignty. The samurai, who had demonstrated unparalleled bravery and tactical ingenuity, were solidified as the ultimate defenders of Japan. Their status and influence in Japanese society grew immensely. The shogunate, recognizing the crucial role the samurai had played in defending the nation, continued to support and enhance their military capabilities. Coastal defenses were improved, and the samurai's training and equipment were further developed to prepare for any future threats. This period of heightened military preparedness also saw the construction of extensive fortifications along Japan's coastlines, ensuring that the nation would be better equipped to repel any future invasions. Culturally, the Mongol invasions and the subsequent victories had a profound impact on Japanese identity. The tales of the samurai's valor and the miraculous intervention of the divine wind became central themes in Japanese literature, theater, and art. These stories were passed down through generations, instilling a sense of pride and resilience in the Japanese people. The samurai's code of Bushido, which emphasized honor, loyalty, and sacrifice, was celebrated and idealized, becoming a cornerstone of Japanese cultural values. The Mongol Empire, on the other hand, faced significant repercussions from their failed invasions of Japan. The enormous resources expended on the invasions, including the vast fleets and armies, had been largely wasted. The losses suffered were not just material but also psychological. The failure to subjugate Japan dented the Mongols' aura of invincibility, showing that even the mightiest empire had its limits. The strain on the Mongol Empire's resources, coupled with internal strife and the logistical challenges of maintaining such a vast domain, marked the beginning of the gradual decline of Mongol dominance in Asia. Kublai Khan, despite his vast empire, had to contend with the reality that his ambition to conquer Japan had been thwarted by a combination of fierce resistance and natural forces. This failure limited further Mongol expansion in the east and underscored the importance of understanding and respecting the geographical and cultural complexities of the regions they sought to conquer. It also led to a shift in focus within the empire, as the Mongols turned their attention to consolidating their existing territories rather than pursuing new conquests. The failure of the Mongol invasions also had a ripple effect on the surrounding regions. It emboldened other states and kingdoms that had feared the Mongol threat, showing that resistance was possible and that the Mongols were not invincible. This period saw a gradual resurgence of local powers and the re-establishment of independent states that had previously been under threat of Mongol domination. In summary, the successful defense against the Mongol invasions had far-reaching implications for Japan, solidifying its national identity and reinforcing the status and influence of the samurai. The sense of divine protection and the celebration of the samurai's bravery became integral to Japanese culture. For the Mongol Empire, the failed invasions marked the beginning of their decline and highlighted the challenges of overextension. The legacy of these events continues to be felt, illustrating the enduring power of resilience, unity, and the will to defend one's homeland against all odds. Importance and relevance today. The importance and relevance of the Mongol invasions of Japan in 1274 and 1281 extend far beyond their historical context, resonating deeply in modern times. These events are not just milestones in Japanese history, they are enduring symbols of resilience, strategic brilliance, and the power of unity in the face of overwhelming adversity. The lessons derived from these invasions continue to inspire and inform contemporary thought on leadership, national identity, and the principles of warfare. One of the most significant aspects of the Mongol invasions is the demonstration of resilience against seemingly insurmountable odds. The samurai, though vastly outnumbered and facing an enemy with superior technological advantages, managed to defend their homeland through sheer determination and strategic ingenuity. This narrative of resilience is particularly relevant today, as it serves as a powerful reminder that adversity can be overcome with courage, preparation, and a steadfast commitment to one's principles. In an era where nations and individuals face various forms of challenges, from economic crises to global pandemics, the story of the samurai's defiance against the Mongols offers a timeless lesson in the strength of the human spirit. The concept of strategic brilliance showcased by the samurai during these invasions is another key takeaway. The samurai employed innovative tactics, such as guerrilla warfare and the use of their intimate knowledge of the terrain, to counter the Mongol advances. Their ability to adapt to changing circumstances and leverage their strengths against the weaknesses of their enemies is a lesson in effective strategy that remains applicable in modern military and business contexts. Today's leaders and strategists can learn from the samurai's example, understanding the importance of adaptability, local knowledge, and the effective use of resources to achieve their goals. The unity displayed by the Japanese people during the Mongol invasions is equally important. The invasions catalyzed a sense of national identity and solidarity among the Japanese, uniting them in the face of a common threat. This unity was not just among the samurai but extended to the broader populace, who supported the war effort in various ways. In contemporary society, the importance of unity and collective action in addressing common challenges cannot be overstated. Whether it is in the context of national defense, social justice movements, or global cooperation on issues like climate change, the story of Japan's unity during the Mongol invasions serves as a powerful example of what can be achieved when people come together with a shared purpose. Culturally, the legacy of the Mongol invasions and the samurai's role in defending Japan continues to shape Japanese identity. The values of honor, loyalty, and sacrifice that were embodied by the samurai have been passed down through generations and remain central to Japanese culture. These values are celebrated in literature, film, and popular culture, ensuring that the lessons of the past remain relevant to new generations. The reverence for the samurai and the cultural significance of the kamikaze, symbolizing divine protection and national resilience, are ingrained in the national psyche, reinforcing a sense of pride and continuity. Moreover, the historical interactions between the Mongol Empire and Japan highlight the complexities of cross-cultural encounters. Despite the conflict, there were also instances of cultural exchange and mutual influence. The invasions brought new technologies and ideas to Japan, which were adapted and integrated into Japanese society. This aspect of the invasions underscores the importance of openness to new influences and the potential for growth and innovation that comes from cross-cultural interactions. In our increasingly globalized world, the ability to learn from and adapt to diverse perspectives is crucial for progress and development. In conclusion, the Mongol invasions of Japan in 1274 and 1281 hold enduring importance and relevance today. They offer timeless lessons in resilience, strategic brilliance, unity, and cultural identity that continue to inspire and inform contemporary thought and action. As we navigate the complexities and challenges of the modern world, the story of the samurai's defiance against the Mongols serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring strength of the human spirit and the profound impact of collective action and strategic thinking. Conclusion. The epic story of the Mongol invasions of Japan is more than a historical account, it is a narrative rich with lessons that transcend time. The resilience, strategic brilliance, and unwavering unity of the samurai against overwhelming odds highlight the enduring power of the human spirit and the importance of steadfast dedication to one's principles and homeland. As we reflect on these momentous events, we are reminded that true strength lies not just in numbers or technology but in the courage to stand firm in the face of adversity. The samurai's legacy of honor, loyalty, and sacrifice continues to resonate, offering timeless wisdom that can guide us in our own battles, whether personal, societal, or global. The victory at Tsushima and the subsequent defense of Japan against the Mongol Empire serve as powerful symbols of national resilience and cultural identity. The samurai's valor and the miraculous intervention of the kamikaze have become integral to Japanese heritage, inspiring generations and reinforcing the values that define the nation. In today's world, where challenges are manifold and often daunting, the story of the Mongol invasions reminds us of the importance of unity, preparedness, and strategic thinking. It teaches us that with determination, innovation, and a collective spirit, even the most formidable obstacles can be overcome. So, as we conclude this journey through history, let us carry forward the lessons of the samurai. Let us embrace the courage to face our challenges head-on, the wisdom to devise effective strategies, and the unity to stand together in pursuit of a common goal. In doing so, we honor the legacy of those who came before us and ensure that their spirit of resilience continues to inspire and guide us into the future. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the Mongol invasions of Japan. May the spirit of the samurai inspire you to face your own challenges with bravery and determination. Until next time, stay resilient, stay united, and remember the power of the human spirit.